Welcome to My Pet Shame.
Molly, Molly, Molly!
Oh, Glinda!
Boys!
We're... Julian Hopkinson has had 4-year-old bull mastiff LuLu since birth. He breeds mastiffs and also has LuLu's mother and her sister. But LuLu has a special place in Julian's heart.
Oh, she's exceptional. She's so happy. She's a treasure to be with. She will follow me to the end of the earth. She thinks she's human. She wants to be with you all the time. She's not a dog, she's a human.
I love my dog as much as I love you.
LuLu looks like a top dog, so just what is her problem?
LuLu goes to stud. She goes to see her boyfriend. She falls pregnant. We know she conceives. But halfway through the pregnancy, she loses the pups. And she's done that the last 2 times that she's been to stud.
As a conscientious dog breeder, Julian is keen to carry on the bloodline he's established over the past 6 years.
You want your own children. I want my own children. LuLu wants her own children. It's like a whole family chain that you need to keep going. It's naturally in dogs to breed. And when you have something special like LuLu, I want a puppy out of LuLu. That's what I want.
I wanna have your baby.
It's time for LuLu to check in at the Pet Shame Clinic.
I see her springing up like Daisy.
And do you have other dogs?
Yes, I've got her mother and I've got her auntie.
Wow. And is she great with them?
Perfect. They all run together. They sleep together. They do everything together.
Yeah. And what's she like with their pups?
Gosh, wonderful.
She's so beautiful. Oh, it'd be lovely if she could have pups. Will vet Mark be able to see through LuLu's problem pregnancies?
We'll give her a quick check over if she's going to let us.
Yes, she'll let you. Good girl, LuLu. Show your teeth.
That's it. Wow, look at the size of her mouth. So she's got good colour of her mucous membranes or her gums. Her eyes are nice and clear. I mean, she looks like a perfectly normal, healthy dog. So how far does she get with the pregnancy?
She goes for the scan 4 and 5, fine. 6 and 7, they start to grey out.
And how many times has this happened?
This has happened twice now.
And I'm assuming it's a tried and tested stud dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, so the problem sounds like being it with her.
It is with LuLu, yeah.
And why is it so important to have puppies from LuLu?
She'd love to be a mother. She's actually brought up a Gloucester Old Spot piglet.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So she has lactated before?
Yes. She was lactating 2 weeks ago. Phantom pregnancy.
Yep, yep.
As well as her pregnancies terminating suddenly, LuLu has been experiencing phantom pregnancies. This natural phenomenon is commonly thought to date from the days of when dogs lived in packs. All bitches in the pack would come into season together, even though only the dominant bitch would mate. This alpha female's pups would then be cared for and suckled by the rest of the females in the pack. Will vet Mark be able to get to the bottom of why LuLu's pregnancies cut short?
So for bitches not to carry a pregnancy full term, there's some sort of categories that sort of falls into. First, see if there's a problem with either her or the fetus. The uterus environment is so sensitive, like it is in all species, to any tiny changes at all. Sometimes other females, if they don't get on, can cause enough stress to not make them carry a pregnancy full term. And obviously we've got infectious causes as well. We need to try and pretty much rule out what isn't wrong to actually find out what is wrong.
Mark's taking a vaginal swab from LuLu as one of the common causes of miscarriage in bitches is the herpes virus. The sample will be sent to the lab to rule out viral or bacterial infection as the cause of LuLu's infertility.
It could be a long journey, and it may just be nature's way of saying she's not going to have babies.
OK.
Has nature dealt a cruel hand to LuLu, or will she and Julian be able to have puppies? In Staffordshire, LuLu, the 4-year-old Baron Bull Mastiff, hasn't been able to sustain her pregnancies to full term.
Good girl, come on in.
Vet Mark gave her the all clear from the herpes virus, And 2 weeks after visiting the pet shame clinic, he's referred Lulu to a canine fertility centre.
Hopkinson, please.
Hello.
Yeah, do you want to come through?
Come on,
Specialist Louise McLean starts by getting a comprehensive health history, hoping this may shed light on Lulu's problem.
What's Lulu's breeding? Do you have any other of her family at all?
I bred Lulu from her mother Megan and a flint stock stud.
Her mother, apart from Lulu's litter, has she had any other litters?
Yes, she's had 2 perfect litters before that.
Right, before this one. Interesting. OK, might be a bit of a challenge, mightn't you?
Lulu's lost 2 litters, which is unusual in a bitch. So the aim of today's tests is to rule out potential causes. First, the vet takes a blood sample to check Lulu's progesterone base level. This hormone is vital to both fertility and to a healthy pregnancy.
Oh, what a good girl.
Next, Lulu must have a vaginal smear. When analysed, the cells will show if there has been any oestrogen activity. Oestrogen controls the reproductive system, and any changes in the vaginal cells could cause a problem with fertility in pregnancy.
Good girl, good girl.
No.
She's a good girl.
Finally, Lulu is having an ultrasound to check for ovarian or uterine abnormality. If her uterus is enlarged, it could be infected. The ultrasound doesn't appear to show anything wrong, so now it's about monitoring and waiting. But the vet thinks Lulu's problem could be caused by the other dogs at home.
I'm wondering whether, because there are 2 other bitches in the household, whether that's having some effect on Lulu's fertility. The older bitches can sometimes inhibit what a younger bitch can do, because naturally in the wild the dominant bitch would be the only one usually to produce a litter.
In a week's time, Julian and Lulu will return to the pet shame clinic to get the test results. But will Lulu's future be barren? Back at the clinic, it's time to catch up with our final animal who's been undergoing the pet shame treatment, Lulu. A month ago, this 4-year-old bull mastiff was barren, so Mark sent her off for specialist tests to diagnose the problem. The results are in.
It's all good. Biochemistry, haematology are all normal. So at the end of the day, we've got a pretty healthy dog with which to now plan the next stage, which is obviously the mating.
So why do you think this has been happening then?
Well, there's a few reasons that the specialists have come up with, and interestingly, she lives with 2 older bitches, and what the specialist has recommended is they get spayed.
The older bitches have affected Lulu's reproductive cycle, and she's coming into season more often than she should. If they get spayed, Lulu's cycle should settle down, returning to its natural rate, which allows the uterus more recovery time.
So how long does she normally need to recover then?
At least 6 months.
And how long has she been having?
Well, she's coming in season just under 5 months at the moment.
Right.
Well, they all are together.
So it's far too frequent to give her a chance to actually get pregnant.
So how would you feel about having the other 2 bitches spayed?
I think it's the way forward. They're both now over 6 years old, so we can't breed from them anyway. So to have them spayed, it's a good idea.
To protect animals' welfare, there are guidelines. And when it comes to breeding, the rules are that no bitch should have more than 6 litters in a lifetime, or more than 1 litter a year, which makes spaying a healthy option for Julian's other bitches.
What can we do now to help her go full term?
Certainly by regularly monitoring her blood hormone levels, especially relaxin. Relaxin is a hormone that gives us an indication of the placental function, how well everything's going on inside. And also regular ultrasound examination, making sure the puppies grow at the right size, at the right rate.
With a clean bill of health, it's now all about preparation. A dog's pregnancy usually lasts 9 weeks, and this is when the whelping box comes into play. Whelping is when bitches give birth, and a whelping box is to dogs what the maternity ward is to us humans. This one's state-of-the-art, with an overhead heat lamp and underfloor heating.
Really importantly, and I love this feature, is the Perspex side there. Because what that does is it helps the puppies socialise.
Right.
Because they can see out and they don't experience just a hand all of a sudden appearing to grab them.
Yeah.
They can see that person coming.
Well-socialised puppies make well-adjusted dogs.
So how would you know if Lulu was going into labour?
A pregnancy for a dog is 63 days, and they are pretty exact.
If your bitch is pregnant, there are signs that will tell you labour is about to start. Monitor her temperature, and when it drops 1 degree, labour is imminent. Your bitch may lose her appetite, become restless and hyperventilate. It's also likely that she will start licking around her vagina. Most births take place at night, so have your vet's emergency number to hand.
So it's pretty obvious when a bitch is about to whelp.
Well, hopefully Lulu can have some pups of her own. Let us know what happens, but I think she'd make a beautiful mother, wouldn't you?
One barren bull mastiff is on the road to bearing puppies of her own.